Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Toolkit Tuesday. We are extremely excited to have Marshall White here. He is the marketing director of Guaranty RV. Not only, Marshall, are you the marketing director of the Guaranty RV stores, but you're also the marketing director of the Chevy store, correct?
That's right.
You have kind of the double whammy, right? You're they're different, but they're the same industry-wise. But you've had so many different things that I'm sure you've had to change on both sides of the house. So you and your team are probably exhausted at this point.
Yeah, you could say that. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it, for everybody?
Yeah, I know. So how are you doing? You're doing well, though?
You know, family's healthy and well.
Good.
You know, it's a major blessing. Our business, like so many dealers, has improved this last 4 or 6 weeks, and is really just through the roof. So, you know, there's winners and losers in this market, and it's nice to be on the good side this go round. So
yeah, definitely. Well, so I know you, Marshall, and I know that you typically have a very robust annual marketing plan put together. So when COVID hit, how did that change things for you? You know, we've been talking to so many dealers. I'm thrilled today that we're actually talking to someone on a different side, you know, a different side of things. You have to pivot, as everybody has been saying, very rapidly, and especially having not only RV but also automotive. You know, how did that change? What happened since you had to basically, I don't know if you scrap your plan, or do you modify that plan, or what have you been doing?
it's more of a modification, and quite honestly, you know, the budgets are and the campaigns that make up the marketing plan. They're a guideline. They always have been. We've, you know, I work with, 50, 60 salespeople. So, you know, we adjust based on what they need. And, you know, we're in service, you know, not to ourselves, to sales. And, you know, if we outline something at the beginning of the year, and as we get closer to that date, it's just not making sense, we've always taken that liberty to adjust the budgets and the campaigns as needed if we see a great opportunity coming. In this case, it was a little more dramatic, obviously. You know, our entire show program, for instance, is a major section of our budgeting and planning, and that evaporated overnight. We were in the middle of an RV show when the state said, you know, stop, not to us directly, but to everyone. And so, you know, for all intents and purposes, all of those plans were just paused indefinitely. And then we needed to get a little bit more creative in our destination store marketing. And obviously, you know, something, you know, we were kind of planning on, you know, kind of a kitsch little fun thing, reel in the savings for opening day of fishing season and in the early part of May. You know, that didn't really make a lot of sense when, you know, folks are more concerned with, you know, are you clean and sanitary? Do you deliver? Do you, are you following CDC guidelines and so forth? So, but, you know, we're used to making those adjustments, and I guess I like many marketing folks, saw the writing on the wall early on in the process that, you know, there's just new requirements, and I felt very convicted that, you know, not only were following CDC guidelines a key message, but also, you know, the fact that there's a lot of people with transportation needs in a situation like this. So
Yeah.
just because we have a pandemic doesn't mean that all of a sudden the cars and the RVs go away. In many respects, it makes it more important that we have reliable transportation and we can transport our family safely. Not to mention all of the economic fallout and people needing to adjust maybe monthly payments or interest rates. So I, like so many, looked at it as an opportunity to fill a customer need that's out there. And that's what we have been trying to do.
Right. So without those shows, it doesn't seem to be affecting you as much as you had thought?
That's a great question. March and April were disastrous months.
Yeah.
And May has been able to make up for a lot of the show volume, which in our business is about 40% of our volume. We travel around to typically, well, we have a remarkable show program, if I do say so myself, and
You do.
I'm really bragging. I'm bragging about our team. They moved literally 200 RVs to 20 different locations around the state throughout the year. So it's a pretty
Wow.
major endeavor, and that that volume you just don't make up from one location. But we have seen our destination store volume increase dramatically. And of course, we've given the inventory shortfalls from manufacturers, we've been able to hold margin a little bit better because there's no RVs coming to replace them. So, it's working out. I can't say we're making boatloads of money, but we're able to stay in business, pay our bills, keep our staff employed. We did a few furloughs, not many. I think all told, maybe there were 6 people furloughed, and we have a Guaranty cafe because we have an RV park. So our cafe staff had to be laid off temporarily. They're back now, so we're back up to full strength with our employees. But that doesn't mean that everything is you just make up for February, March, and April with 1 month. So we're not out of the woods completely, but boy, I tell you what, it's really interesting to see this demand be sustained at this point. I was kind of wondering if how long it would continue, but now we're probably into a good solid 4+ weeks of this strong demand. So and it's showing no signs of slowing up at this point here, June 9th.
That's great. And I know there's a lot of people, just even personally, I mean, we even talked about it here in my own home from a rental perspective, not from a purchasing perspective, but from a rental perspective, because both of our vacations were scrapped and we aren't flying anywhere. We're not doing anything. And, we had discussed, hey, maybe we should just rent an RV and go, Obviously you guys aren't doing the rental side, but you do have your RV park. So that is going to help you in the long run.
Yeah,
So,
and that's something we see, Trisha, from our customers, that same thing, the analysis you and your family were doing, millions of American families are doing the same thing.
Yeah. So what has changed for you as a marketer that you thought would be temporary, but now you feel might remain part of your future plans moving forward since all of this has happened?
Well, there's some kitsch answers. Obviously the power of digital, has been reinforced through all of this. If you don't have a texting platform, if you haven't dabbled in live streaming, if you're still trying to get your pay-per-click up and running, or your e-blast software, or an e-commerce store for that matter, those tools, they really came in handy during this crisis, and we're not, in my opinion, we're not out of the woods yet. So that's one way to look at your question, that it really reinforced what we've been doing in digital with Dealership Toolkit, and makes us want to keep that investment strong and find continuous improvement opportunities. But another way to answer it is, for me, as I thought about it, is that it reminded me just how important camping is to Northwesterners and probably people nationwide. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see this huge demand spike coming. But what we're really seeing, I think, is that customers are, not just current customers, but the American consumer is valuing the everything to do with camping, getting away from the news and the noise and the stress, and getting back to basics, and reinvesting in their family and just treasuring that family time. That's something we've always sold. I mean, in many respects, RVs are the original social distancing product. So it's not that we don't know it, but it really reminds me that this isn't about product. This isn't about price. This isn't about, the latest sales training. This is a very core emotional need that we have, and our products happen to be very well suited to serve that.
And taking that direction from a marketing perspective is definitely going to be huge moving forward. I think it's, you're right. It's no longer necessarily about that price, about that what you have. It is really about, it's a need. It is an actual need for so many that I don't think so many really thought of before. So you are absolutely correct. And I mean, any word on when shows will begin again? I mean, have you guys talked about it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We almost went back out on the circuit, a few weeks ago. We thought better of it. And now, in our state, in Oregon, we can have gatherings. We're in phase 2, so we can have gatherings of up to 100 people. So that allows us to do our shows. But of course, we would be splitting our inventory up between 2 locations, and we have such strong demand here. We just don't want to do it right now. So once we can get inventoried, so to speak, this summer, then we'll head back out on the show trail. I'm guessing by August. If we can do it sooner, we will. But it's such a critical part of our business that, and any RV dealer that's out on the show circuit right now, I think they're probably killing it pretty good right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely a smart move.
I would think so. Well, Marshall, in closing, do you have any advice that you would give, another RV dealer or another marketing team member from an RV dealership in just moving forward and how to really embrace all of this? Is there anything at all that you'd say?
That's a great question. I think we all know right now that everything relies on used RV inventory. So I think every dealer is very focused on getting those trades in, purchasing vehicles, consignments, and just continuing to double down on that. I think letting the business come to you in some respects, not forcing it right now. I think we're all in that mode where there's no sense really overselling. Just kind of really take a step back right now and help customers create memories that last a lifetime.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I appreciate you coming on and taking a little bit of time out of your day. And like I said, anything that we can ever put out there that might help even just one person, we are very happy to do so with our Toolkit Tuesdays. So we will see you next week. And Marshall, thank you again so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks, Trisha. Have a great day.
You too.